A train wrecked to spin fire. The NFT analyzer, diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer. From mint coins to tokens, he's got all the intel. Web3 is a tree, show you where to excel. He's got the insights like a digital magician, unveiling secrets of the blockchain with precision. Wild stories from the web, he's always in the know. Crypto community, vibing where the treasures flow. Web3 wonders, chain reactors on the scene.
Good morning, guys. Mega GMs. Welcome to the Swarm Report. It is Monday, October 6th. All right, we're getting deep into October, man, and things are going, according to plans, I would say, huh? What's up, boys? China, good morning. Alazar, good morning. GM to you guys, wherever you're watching. We're live on Abstract. Actually, almost live on Abstract. That always gives me trouble kicking off that stream. We'll be live on Abstract in just a moment here, but we are live on X. We are live on YouTube. Wherever you're watching, man, hit the like. Definitely come over to the YouTube. Actually, I'm going to get to that in a second. I got some quick alpha for you guys. Hoods, good morning. Boss, good morning. Great to see you guys. Great time to be plugged into this market, man. All right, quick alpha. This is actually really, really timely here. You might have seen it. If you missed it, let's see. We might have a little quick alpha call this morning. We've been talking a lot about the strategy tokens, right? Punk strategy, Pudgy strategy, like all these. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about those actually today too, because there's a lot going on. Massive discount right this second, like right now in the Punk strategy token. Right now. Okay, this is somebody who held like 3-point-something% of the entire Punk strategy supply. In one clip, sold $2.75 million worth of that Punk strategy token. Poof. Dumped it all. Sent that chart down to 70 mil, guys. From 280, 290 mil down to 70 mil. And I want to peek and see if it's still at a discount. It kind of is, guys. I want to show it to you because it's a perfect buying opportunity. It is. It is. Let me get this chart to load here. A lot of my friends are loading up here. Some of them got really lucky, got in right around 100 mil. It touched 70 mil. Here, let's go on the main page because I don't know if this is good. There we go. Look at that, guys. Look at that. So it's sitting at 280 mil. It did wick down to 70, I think. Maybe I need to look on the 1 minute, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a pretty spicy buying opportunity. Are we back at 200 now? Yeah, I think people have already gobbled up a lot of that dip. Either way, still on discount, though, from where it was this morning. Pretty good discount. If you got anywhere down here, guys, GG's. I mean, holy cow. Dude, what a dip. Cats, good morning, man. Yeah, I mean, you got to be quick with this stuff. If you caught it in time, man, this will happen. This will keep happening, guys. Why not? It will. I think he might have been a top holder, so I don't know if we're going to see exactly that, but there's guys who have a big chunk of supply across all these tokens, by the way, all of them. And I expect to see that a few times here still. Why not? A lot of guys are deep in profits. I mean, this dude locking in, I'm sure, millions in profits. I'm just assuming he got in pretty damn early. These guys going to lock in those profits. And if they don't do it the right way, right? If they don't time their exit and kind of slowly trickle those coins out, that's what happens. Right? If you sell it all, for people less familiar with this, that's how that works. You really, you gotta be smart with how you exit. Otherwise, you nuke the price. This guy didn't give a fuck. Keep your eye on that. Still, I think it's at a really, really spicy price. And yeah, this will happen across all the others. I don't want to get too far ahead because we're going to talk about these, but it'll happen in Ape Strategy. We'll talk Cats about that too. I think Pain is Wednesday or Thursday. We'll go through the whole schedule here. Today's Goblin Town, and it's going to be a really important one to watch. And there's all these rumors, all these other really great ones too. Yeah, it's going to get really exciting in strategy. Now, at some point, we get watered down. Yeah, okay, let me save that talk because we're definitely going to get to that stuff. Again, smash the like. Come over to YouTube to CryptoSlam. Subscribe over here. Guys, you can follow me at Hudah_idiot. Supporting the Vibe Strategy token this week. So back to the Vibey PFP for now. We'll be back to Kongs at the end of the week or next week, but got to support the Vibe fam. Make sure you follow the Swarm_AI, and most importantly, now follow SlamAI_XYZ, and go to the website, guys, SlamAI.xyz. Check out our white paper, which is going to get a big buff here soon. More details, more. I think it's going to be a lot easier to understand what it is that we're building over here. But yes, we are building SlamAI, and it's going to be pretty spicy, fam. I'm pretty excited about it. I got to say, it's to me it's the most exciting thing we've done in a few years here. Love the Swarm, right? Of course, love it. I think the Wallet DNA is like one of the coolest products it's the coolest product we've put out. I think the most potential for that in SlamAI is how those metrics, the DNA metrics, actually you realize their potentials through SlamAI. So again, follow that account. Stay tuned. Let's get into it, guys. Luna, good morning, man. All right, what a weekend. Dude, what a weekend here. Bitcoin all-time high, 125.6 we touched. And still a lot of thoughts that's just the start of what we see this week. Calls from Standard Charter, 135 Bitcoin this week. Lots of calls this week from going much deeper into all-time high territory. But fear and greed index has got us in the greed. I don't know, guys. Are you feeling greedy right now? Because I'm not. In fact, you should feel greedy right now. Keep your foot on that pedal all the way to the metal. You know what I mean? Like, it's time. It's time for that. This is that moment. And this is that moment that I think is supposed to, last a couple months here. This is that special time we're heading into. And by the way, whatever we do here may not even be the top still. Maybe a lot more to go, but you pay attention to the index here in greed territory. I'll just say this. Feels nice to be there because it feels like it's been a minute. But looking at prices here, let me refresh real quick because we might be a little higher. But looking so good. Look at Bitcoin, 124.6. Green everywhere. Bitcoin up 11% in the past week. ETH almost 46. Ripple $3. BNB another all-time high here. Look at that, over 1,200. You see the narrative that's kind of building up on Twitter. It's it's Solana versus BNB, and BNB is just crushing right now. Looks so good. Memes are dying on Solana. I don't think they're dead, but they're struggling. Memes on Binance, on BNB, kind of a different story. Memes looking kind of awesome over there. It's all we're gonna be cooking across the board. Doesn't matter. But anyway, BNB all-time high. GGs to them. Solana 234, looking really great. Peeking at ETFs on Friday, starting with Bitcoin. 985 million inflows. Last week, Bitcoin ETFs, second best week we've had ever. So those ETFs bringing in serious volume here. And on the inflow side, looks so good. Over on ETH, big week as well. Not a record week, but solid here. 233 million inflows there. Over on Solana, they really got to add some of these others. But yeah, solid. Friday, actually nothing. Yeah, okay, interesting. Thursday and Friday, nothing. Dude, abstract really isn't going, huh? Hang on, guys. Let me see if I can get this to work. I think that abstract stream sometimes is kind of weird. Yeah, just not. Hang on, guys. Give me a quick sec. I do want to get the stream going there. Sorry, fam. 1 second. Okay, I think we got it. Nope. Whatever. I'll poke at that as we go here. Dude, so weird. Whatever. Anyway, looking good. Looking real good. We're past the cycle, right? We're past cycle talk. Like, we'll kind of reference it here and there, but we're past the cycle talk. What crazy stuff's happening? S&P 500 up over 40% in the past 6 months. Gold's all-time high, right? Bitcoin all-time high and still going. Still going. The total crypto market cap, we've added many, many trillions this year, and it's not stopping. It's not the prices are going up, and they are, of course they are. But man, it's the value of the US dollar kind of collapsing. A little extreme, but we're heading that way. Worst year for the dollar. Is this real? Since 73? Crazy stuff. Seeing some really interesting talk out there. It's debasement. It is when you see, housing prices and, geez, the NASDAQ and the SPX against the US dollar, against gold, against Bitcoin. It's very obvious what's happening here. And it's going to keep happening. It's going to keep happening. This is not changing. And I love Tyler pointing this out because Tyler's got an audience. He's got reach, and people will listen to somebody like Tyler. People still talking, and more than that, not just talking, but planning around the 4-year cycle, to me is a big mistake. It's a huge mistake. You're going to miss out on, I think, a very special thing that's going to happen. How many times do we, you get out of something in profits, good, you won. But how many times do you get out of something and you won, but you realize you missed something that could have been way bigger, maybe potentially life-changing, right? And I got to say, hang on, some of the kick spam is kind of freaking funny. I got to say, I would not want to be out right now. I wouldn't. Dude, I would not want to be out of this market right now or anytime soon. That's just me. Make your plans, be smart, all that, but Tyler's right. Debasement trade doesn't care about the 4-year cycles. It doesn't. And people pointing like he's got replies here. Well, what about this last time around? What about this thing that happens to? He's like, why are we thinking about what happened 4 years ago? What happened? What 4 years ago even resembles what things are looking like today? Kind of nothing. More users, more money, more regulatory focus on this space, and more of this. Look at this, Morgan Stanley's Global Investment Committee. This is what we've been waiting for. This is really it. There's big money out there, man. Guiding their 16,000 advisors managing $2 trillion. Advising that they allocate up to 4% of portfolios into Bitcoin. Mufasa, you keep talking about that one, and I see others talking about it. We should probably dive into that. I think I've said it a few times, but guys, you should probably peek at Syfy. I'm hearing a lot of noise about Syfy, and we've seen it on the charts. We've seen it moving. I'd be paying attention. It's a good shout, Mufasa. Boy, it's going to get great. It is. Key dates this week. Tomorrow. Market mover? No. Wednesday, Fed meeting minutes. This is from their last month. Thursday, Jerome Powell speech. Can move the market. Can. We'll see. And then September job reports on Friday. I guess only if the shutdown ends. I have no idea about that. I have no idea if people are expecting that to happen. We could probably look at Polymarket. No idea if people are expecting that or not. Feels like no. A couple quick headlines. We're going to get over to AI, but look, we got all these token airdrops we're waiting for. Big ones too, man. OpenSea, we're going to get details on in the next 2 weeks. We're going to get details on the C token. Maybe what our allocations might look like, how we're going to get them, when it's going to happen, when is TGE, right? Those details coming in the next couple of weeks, but we're also looking forward to a MetaMask, the Mask token. What's that going to look like? MetaMask now telling us $30 million in linear rewards. Not bad. Not bad. I think more to come there too. Linea's consensus Ethel 2. I don't know anybody who uses it, by the way, but we'll take it. We'll take the stimmy. We'll take it. Aster is getting a spot listing on Binance. Also, airdrop number 2 coming on October 14th. Should be another big one. Stay tuned for that. Hopefully you're getting some, maybe. But also, there's a lot of fuckery going on in Aster, guys. All right, when Aster came out, really started making some noise. There's some questionable stuff going on over there, from volume to the numbers they're reporting. So platform volume, platform users, all looks really like, guys, really suspicious, really suspicious. And it is. I think it's all sus, and I think it's all inaccurate. DeFi Llama is delisting Aster perp volume because it's not accurate. It's not coming from on chain. And a lot of people saying they're just copying Binance volume. They're reporting Binance volume. So super unclear over there. Doesn't feel legit. Doesn't feel organic. Is Aster in trouble? I don't think so, but a lot of fuckery in Aster. Got to put that on your radar. Quick follow-up to the, Nick O'Neill reported story from last week, reporting that Pump Fund, I can't wait to flip to this. You've probably seen it. If not, I'm very excited to show you. Pump Fund laid off a quarter of their staff. I think that's a real story, by the way. We heard this just a couple weeks ago. The speculation is they're getting ready for their Pump Fund token airdrop. And maybe they're getting rid of some employees that they don't want, having their tokens vested. They don't want them getting that airdrop, right? Kind of scummy. Maybe it's okay. Maybe that's normal, whatever, right? That was the story. Quarter of their employees, their staff laid off. Well, Nick's now reporting they're laid off for a completely different reason. It's pretty wild, guys. It's pretty great. Apparently, guys, we'll keep it as PG related as we can, but apparently, and I actually think he's telling the truth here. Nick actually does good reporting, and Nick does have sources. Apparently, the Pump Fund team, a quarter of their staff had an in-office orgy, and they recorded it. Like, what are we doing here? I don't know. It fits. It fits. You got a lot of people working in things that are really big. They've never done it before. They've never been in the position they're in. They've never made the money they've made. They've never made that kind of money before. This is a first for them, and people getting really caught up in the life and being reckless and not smart. Anyway, I think that's a true story. Pump Fund, a quarter of their staff laid off because of this. Wish we were smarter. We're not. I think that story's true, by the way. Quick tease from Mega ETH, little cryptic. I think this is actually really interesting. This is going to tie a little bit into the strategy tokens, a little bit, guys. Okay. This tweet, you see it. I don't know if it means a lot to most of you. I read it one way, and I think a lot of people in the replies are as well. Mega ETH is tweeting, I believe, that the Mega token is probably not too far off, right? This is going to be a really interesting blockchain, and I think it's going to be super rewarding, especially for people who got those the NFTs, the platform NFTs, soulbound. Huge rewards coming to them. I believe we're going to see another, maybe not quite like a hyper liquid, but something that we talk about similar. Really big money going to be moving hands here, but especially the people who are on that platform. Again, those NFTs, those bunny NFTs, Bad Buns, something like that. The Mega token might only have a 1 million supply, which is super interesting, guys. Like, super interesting. I've been saying for a long time, look, I think ERC20s, I don't want to say they're broken, but it's not a one-size-fits-all. And yes, you can launch a token and control the supply. You can launch it whatever supply you want. Billion supply is too big for a lot of the things that are out there now. For a mainstream meme coin or whatever, it kind of makes sense, but a lot of those are even bigger. But for a platform that has like a utility token or a gas token or a government, whatever that is, these supplies just open it up to be gamed and manipulated. And I think it's been broken. Same with NFT supply, different story. But if this token launches with a 1 million token supply, I think that's super interesting. I think that changes how people trade to a degree and the value of tokens. I like it. We'll see if it comes out that way, but I think it is. I think that's exactly what these guys are saying. I hope so. And I think Mega ETH, again, coming really, really soon. Little quick note here as well, but Mia announced something. It's a new token standard called the ERCS. It's I want to make this as uncomplicated as possible. New token standard that lets you kind of share in. Look, it's like a dividend system. It's a new way for token holders to be rewarded from a platform's success without it constituting an investment, without it becoming a security. Essentially, it's a DAO that governs these tokens, votes on rewards for token holders. These things are then done on chain. Interesting. Look, there's a lot of people that are trying to just hammer away at ERC20s, at tokens in general, and find a better way to do it. I like that. ERC20s are not broken. I just don't think we're using them to their potential. So like seeing stuff like that. It's pretty cool. And then final headline here, Galaxy debuts their crypto platform. This is basically a new Robinhood, Kraken, whatever. Like to poke around on it, but dude, awesome. Going to get real competitive in the world of crypto. It's good for us. On to AI. Not looking so great. I'm going to be honest. It's not looking so great. Metas are shifting. This time last year, we were just about to head into the AI meta. Now a year removed, AI meta looking really different. Why do I keep seeing Naval on this top list? I need to peek at Naval and see what's going on here. I wonder if they're going to actually kick off their poly market, trading agent. I wonder if he's actually cooking again. I need to get back in that TG. But anyway, meta's changed. It's the token strategy, NFT strategy meta, and I think it's a big deal. On the other hand, the AI stuff has been wrecked, and I don't want to say it's a shell of its former self, but closer to that. It's hard to see it playing out like we were all hoping for. I'll speak for myself, like I was hoping for. Total market cap in the 100 bill plus might still happen in the long run, probably still happens, but continuing to be a main narrative of this cycle, I'm way less sure about it. Total market cap, it's not 16.86. That's still counting this Tether pair on Arbitrum. Not accurate. Still over 10 bill though, so we'll take that. You see it right here, looking at the top agents by market cap. USDT on Arbitrum is on the top. It doesn't belong. So it's Fartcoin on top, struggling to get back to a bill, which is super interesting to me. Maybe suffering a bit from two things, right? The AI narrative not being so hot, but also it's a Solana meme coin, also not hot. So Fartcoin, 673 mil. I believe that'll be back at a bill. I think the Solana stuff cooks again. Right now, struggling. Fartcoins followed by AIC, IRC, Toshi, and then Tibber over 300 mil. That's another all-time high here. 312 mil market cap. Tibber is absolutely on fire. On the infrastructure side, it's Fed on top. Then we got Virtual, DCAI, IOTX, and Alt. And then in DeFi, we have Venice, Banker, AI Tech, Olos, and Cortex. Looking okay over here, too. I was curious where Anon is. Hey, Anon, 23 mil. Still think we see some stuff really cook over there. All right, let's go to Mindshare. And still Elsa on top, right? No TGE yet, but campaigns going on still. So Elsa, followed by Banker. Everlyn. I'm trying to think what Everlyn is. I don't think I'm familiar. Also has a Mindshare campaign. Whenever you see something here but no token details, just assume, unless there's some like really super organic thing happening on X, just assume it's got some kind of Cato campaign. So Everlyn. Then we have Fartcoin and CXT. We'll see. Hey, we're heading into, special. No. Anything interesting on the Elsa dashboard? I'm kind of curious who's talking about it, but no. Oh, and quickly got to mention Limitless closed. The Limitless pre-sale on Cato closed. What, 200? I think like 201 mil. 201 mil was committed to that pre-sale. Wild. Absolutely wild. All right, on to virtuals. Excited for this. We don't have a ton to talk about on virtuals still. Like, the big news is still coming. Big news is still coming on virtuals. The big change to Genesis. The end of Genesis. The start of whatever the new launchpad is. We're looking at, guys, that's like, well, we should get that news this week. It should actually be this week. We heard October 10th. So maybe even today we get that virtuals news. Guys, if you happen to see it during the show, drop it in the chat, but we might get that virtuals news today. I'm still going to bet on these AI tokens. I still do like the meta. All right, your top movers here. We'll start with your gainers. Mono's on top here. This is in the past 24 hours, followed by Biz. Interesting. Biz at 2.1 mil FDV. Aristotle, I think another new all-time high here. 76 mil FDV. Aura, and then Alt. And your top losers. REI, Syfy, probably a pretty spicy buy here. Emmett, Monk, and Billy on that list too. Billy, my thoughts there. Huge fan. Any discount with Billy, consider it a discount. So yeah, virtuals this week. I think it's safe to say we'll get that update this week, and I like their new vision. It's about time, to be honest. And this is going back to their roots. Their goal is to make virgins win again. That's it. That's their goal. That's the one thing that's going to drive things. They pivoted, right? Genesis version 1 was all about the community. Version 2 was about the teams, and it didn't work, right? Trying to make something more enticing to the teams. It didn't work. The teams didn't come. We had some great launches. Make no mistake, great launches. But if the virtuals community isn't winning, they're not going to trade your token. They're not going to pay attention to you. And we also had just not the best market too. So there was a few things going on, but now if their goal is to make virgins win, dude, awesome. There's going to be some free, let's just say easy plays coming up here in virtuals, like really easy plays. And if you don't need points to get in these plays, well, all of a sudden you open this up to everybody, right? How many people do you know that might have been interested in virtuals, even if it was just for a short period of time? But, right, the barrier to get in these pre-sales was points. You had to go and shill stuff you maybe didn't care about, and you had to go buy stuff you didn't care about to go farm points just to get in a pre-sale. So how many people didn't come in because they couldn't get in? They didn't have the time or didn't want to put the time to get in. I get it, man. Like, totally fair if you didn't want to do it or couldn't. But that changes. No barrier here. No points, no barrier. Get in, trade. This might get spicy really, really fast. I know we're all hoping so. But the setup's here. Absolutely betting on it myself. I am betting on that. All right, points keep ramping up. 164 mil. Again, points won't matter soon, so I don't know if this matters. To me, mostly no. They will reward points somehow, the existing points here. I'm still just bleeding out, and I guess I don't care. I never got refunded my 100,000 points that were, for whatever reason, zapped. I probably should push on that, but at this point, they won. I'm a little defeated there. Lost 100,000 points. What can you do? Anyway, I'm still losing points, 4,000 a day. Luckily this week, there's a couple things to bet on. There's actually some decent launches here. We'll peek at those. Should we go peek? Yeah, we should probably peek at some previous launches. Actually, we could just go to Whale Intel. Let's just do that real quick. Yeah, a quick peek at previous launches, more recent ones, just to see how they're looking right now. Wait. Let's go back to... I just want to see Aristotle again. Wow. Yeah. Aristotle. Man, if you get on that pre-sale, you're at 577x, guys. Wild thing. That wasn't that long ago, by the way. 2 months ago. It's not that long ago. 2 months ago, you had a big win there. We'll get a big win out of whatever this new version of virtuals is. We will get something there. Do we get a bunch? We used to win every day. Are we going to get that now? Hard to say. Here's some recent Genesis launches that completed. Are you up? Are you not? Here's the Wave token. You're down on that investment. Actually, I don't want to dive in too deep here, but yeah. Hang on, let's get that fixed. Tycoon was the last real one on the platform. You're almost 2x, which is pretty damn solid, to be honest here. 2.6 mil market cap looks all right. Ground Zero, you're even. Waveform looks great. I'm going to reach out to those guys. I would love to get them on and add more with them. Sunny, you're up. A little over 2x. Spira and Fables. Those two I'm really interested in. Spira almost back to even. Fables almost back to even. Love to see that. Look, Fables will do all right with that Will partnership. Will as an advisor there is going to help that a ton. So Fables almost even. Spira. No, guys, there's not a lot of wins lately. The few that are there are great. Not a lot of them. Nua also, you're still up on your Nua bet. Anyway, just to get a little temperature check, see how these are doing. Nothing crazy. Safe to say that. But coming up, okay, this week, 3 launches. 3 launches I'm watching. I think all 3 probably complete. People are going to spend the points. You're going to use the points unless Virtuals puts out that announcement and that those points are going to have some utility over in the new system right off the bat, right? That's the only thing that'll keep everybody from spending all their points this week. These 3 launches. Hive Fury looks solid. Security browser extension. We've seen those before. Looks like a pretty decent team, though. So, yeah, I think we'll see this complete tier 1, tier 2. I don't know. Maybe tier 3. Again, if people want to just unload their points, we might see it there. I've reached out to them. Love to get them on the show. Hope to make that happen here. Day before, day of launch would be great. AI Bet. Same story. I know a lot of people are looking at that. Kind of cautiously optimistic about it, but we'll see. And then Scream. Scream I'm still interested in. For whatever reason, I can't shake the Scream thing. And I'm still debating having them on the show. I did see they have a little partnership with PredictBase. That got me at least questioning a little more. Like, right, I want to support PredictBase. I still question Scream. That video, actually, that video they have on this site doesn't help me. Right? When I see that video, I'm like, this feels really sus. But, like, look, if it's real people behind this thing, like, team of builders, I mean, and if they're partnering with PredictBase, maybe there's something a little more there. I think they're partnering with SongJam as well, right? They got some legit partners. So I'm interested in Scream. It's a mindshare platform, by the way. So the meta makes sense. I'm a little just unsure of the team. So I need to chat with them more. Probably should bring them on the show so we can make some decisions. If there's money to be made, look, I want to make it. That's it. It's that simple. But those three, High Fury, AI Bet, and Scream. I'm not sure that Scream completes, although I won't be surprised if it does go tier 1 and maybe tier 2. I have trouble seeing that. But tier 1, I think Scream ends up being a tier 1. So we'll see there. High Fury looks like the best of the bunch. Maybe AI Bet if we get some more info. But look, that's it. That's all you got this week that looks, even a little spicy. There's really nothing else on the board. Anything else on the board is coming in the new Genesis or new Virtuals Launchpad. Now, Will actually put out a tweet saying there's, I think, at least 2 or 3 more launches coming that are not on the board yet, that maybe behind the scenes people have heard about, but they're not here. You haven't heard the announcements yet, but 2 or 3 launches coming up that he actually has in the A tier. None of these are A tier, by the way, right? He's not ranking any of these A tier, but these other mystery launches, he has it A. That shouldn't surprise you if whatever this new Virtuals Launchpad is comes out of the gates with some pretty spicy launches. You're going to make money on this, guys. Not financial advice, but you're going to make some money here coming up on this new Virtuals Launchpad. And I don't think it's going to be difficult, too. So get ready. Start planning for that, guys. Get liquid however you can. If you're still interested in this stuff and if you're going to roll the dice on some launches, right at the front is probably the best place to do it. Still feels quiet out there. I think people are still unplugged, and you can kind of measure that, guys, in points. Right? The fact that points are still relatively, pretty damn low. Right? We've gotten to 300, 400,000, or million. Trying to think if we ever got like way above that. I imagine we have, but points are pretty low. It just means people are pretty unplugged from this. So I think you'll have some opportunities on these new launches. We'll keep you posted on those, guys. We'll be covering all of them. Whoever's launching, I'm going to get them on the show too, right? I'm going to make sure we can make some good informed decisions on those. All right, Virtuals has another Spaces coming up this week. We should be tuning into that. There's no better way to hear what's going on in the Virtuals ecosystem than right from the Virtuals team. So coming up tomorrow, it's at 8 a.m. Eastern time, right before this show, an hour before this show. These guys are going to be live. Twitter Spaces. Hannah's hosting, head of their ecosystem. Also, Everything Empty. Virtuals co-founders on the show. I have a feeling tomorrow's when they announce the new Virtuals Launchpad, guys. So I think tomorrow is really important to pay attention. Look, I'm tempted to actually stream an hour early and we just stream the spaces. If there's interest for that, let me know. If you'd rather just hop in the space and listen there, cool, I get it. But I'm actually tempted to go an hour early and we just kind of restream it here. And then we can kind of talk about what they're doing. But I have a feeling this is going to be the announcement space. Otherwise, with the co-founder on, I think that's kind of the whole point. Actually, I'm going to throw up a market. I'm going to do this actually after the stream today. I'm going to go on PredictBase. I'm going to launch a market. Does the Virtuals team announce the new Launchpad tomorrow? I bet you they do. Who's taking that bet? I would take that. But yeah, I think that's going to be an easy one. But yeah, I'm going to throw up that market today. I'll throw some money behind it too, so we can actually have a little fun with it. Throw like $25, maybe 30, 40, maybe 50. I don't know. I'm going to throw some money behind that bet. A couple more updates, guys. I've been looking around. Don't steal my market, Hood. Don't you dare, bro. Don't you dare steal my market. Don't you dare, bro. No, I don't care. Whatever. Couple other updates. Not a lot of big project updates, by the way. It's pretty slow out there. But Vader is a big announcement, guys. Vader, who, was the darling of virtuals and pivoted to robotics, and still virtuals, guys. They're still a virtuals project. But Vader announced Vader smart glasses, right? Like the Ray-Ban smart glasses from Meta, which are awesome. I still need to get a pair. But Vader's launching their own line. 200 pairs of their smart glasses. You cannot buy them. You can only earn them, which is pretty neat. Pretty neat. So they'll give them to community members through competitions, community events, and raffles. I would love to win one, man. But I need to get a pair anyways. I will end up buying a pair of Ray-Bans. But yeah, pretty interesting there. And I'll just wrap up the AI stuff by saying, guys, just don't unplug from this. I know the AI stuff hasn't been super fun for the past couple months, and it maybe hasn't been super profitable. I know. That said, money's still pouring in. It's still pouring in, and it's only going to grow. Look at this. VCs have poured in 192, almost $193 billion into AI startups just this year. Just this year. Puts this year on track to be the first year where more than 50% of total VC funds flow into AI. And it's only going to grow because AI, look, they probably count robotics separate. They are part of the same industry in a way. At the very least, they're connected, very much like crypto and AI are connected, maybe less than robotics and AI are, right? Robotics, AI is the brain of robots. It is. But massive money coming in will keep coming in. Robotics and AI is the thing to be planning on, to be betting on. And massive money. Massive money. Stay plugged in. Pay attention here and be aware. It's going to be as disruptive as we thought. Jobs going bye. I'm questioning that, right? I've been changing my mind a bit about that today. Oh, interesting. Jupyter Wallet's now live for desktop. Okay. Okay, pretty interesting. Jupyter just launched a desktop wallet. Pretty cool. Anyway, Mr. Beast worried about these AI videos. He should be. See, it's not scary, by the way. It's not scary. It's awesome. But, man, it's going to get really fun. Just stay plugged in. The point of that all, stay plugged into AI. All right, let's do some NFT talk, man, because that's my favorite, we heard this, I think it was Friday, maybe it was Saturday, but U.S. court ruled that Bored Apes, the NFTs, and ApeCoin are not securities. Look, I think we already knew this. When Trump took office, we knew that things were changing. The SEC completely different, kind of crypto-friendly now. But having courts rule in favor of NFTs, right, making things a little more official, that's really what we need. Bored Apes not securities. We already knew. NFT market looking pretty nice, guys. You know what? Oh, dude, it's Monday. We can check the past week in volume. Let's do that first. Let's peek at volume. I think we had a big week last week. I was looking to see if we crossed 200 mil in sales. I don't think we made it, but let's see. Oh, yeah, we didn't. We didn't make it. Those hyper NFTs the prior week really sent us. Look, we went from 111 mil up to 193 2 weeks ago. Last week, 186 mil in sales volume. Sellers were down last week. Buyers were down. Transactions down. Average, down across the board here, which is okay. Trade profits up. We'll take it. Still negative. Always, you guys know, always watching trade profits. Watching us to flip positive there. That's when the good times are here, man. When profit, very obvious. But when people making money, you're going to continue to look for ways to make money. We're almost there. CryptoPunks are your top collection here, though. Love to see it. 1.3 million sales, followed by Moonbirds, D-Market, Bored Apes, Gilded Guardian Heroes, Max Payne. You know why. I hope you know why. Pudgy Penguins, Suzuki Courtyard, and Lil Pudgies. Goblin Town at number 11. You know why as well. Same reason Max Payne's there. Anybody else standing out here? I bet so. Milady's there. They're always there. But Milady's there for a reason. Good Vibes doing what they're doing for a reason. Yeah. Dick Butts up here as well. Node Monks. Right. A lot of these projects that you're seeing are there for a reason. The reason is strategy tokens. We're going to jump to those in a second. Huge Ether Rock sale. Huge. $380,000. This is sold on Gandhi. 84 ETH. Dude, Sora 2 looks great. A buddy of mine's got access and is playing around with it. I'm trying to get an invite to it. Yeah, monster sale. Is it legit? You know, people always question the EtherRock sales. I think they're kind of legit. They're legit for at least getting a headline. Yeah, but I think there's probably some people who want EtherRocks just cause it's like it's a perfect statement about NFTs. If it's worth something to somebody, well, that's why it's worth something. Kind of that simple. Punk Strategy bought another crypto punk. I think they're up to 21 punks. They're officially in the top 50 crypto punk holders. Pretty awesome. Oh, I'm sorry, 23. They're at 23 punks. This boy's cooking still. Last little note about NFTs this week. Big mint coming. It's already on your radars. I'm going to make sure to keep it there. Huge launch this week. The final Art Blocks curated series coming in 3 days. So this is a Thursday launch. Quine or Quinny, Quine, I'll call it Quine. Probably sound like an idiot, but whatever. By Larva Labs, guys, right? The team behind Autoglyphs and CryptoPunks. Like, you know, I mean, it's the NFT guys. You don't get better than that. This is going to be, I mean, these are going to absolutely cook. All pieces of the collection, 497 pieces, will be auctioned starting at 0.25 ETH. So it's not cheap. Also, there's no way they go anywhere close to a quarter ETH. We're probably looking at 2.5. I actually think quite a bit higher, but let's just go with 2.5 ETH. I think it's the cheapest you're going to see it go for. Whatever's the lowest bid is that how it works? Yeah, lowest bid is where it's all going to settle. 2.5 ETH, I think is the call. Actually, that'd be a good market as well. That would be a pretty good market, right? What price do they actually sell at? 2.5 ETH seems to be consensus out there. Probably right. Anyway, really pricey. I think it's probably, if you got the money, I think it's a great bet. And a lot of people I know are actually waiting for secondary, but we'll keep our eyes on that. It's a big time collection. For me, more than I'm watching the collection, I'm watching to see what Art Blocks does next. I actually think, and this is probably crazy, I wonder if Art Blocks, guys, would it be crazy to think Art Blocks comes to an end? Would that be nuts? I don't know what their rev looks like. I don't know what kind of money they're making. I know that the space has changed here. I don't know if having a whole platform makes sense these days. I just don't know. Is there a chance Art Blocks actually calls it quits after Series 500? Or is it like a pivot to a new launch style? They went physicals briefly. Do they keep going that direction? Do they open up the platform? Right? Like make it permissionless? I can't really tell. I can't even guess at what's coming next, but something's coming next. So I'm watching for that. To me, that's the biggest thing that'll come afterwards. So can't wait to see. All right, on to strategy tokens, man. It's getting fun. Dude, it's getting real fun out there. We've got Node Strategy. It's not official token works, right? But everybody's launching these strategy tokens. An infinite number are coming. If you got it on the Node Strategy pre-sale, GG's, you're up just about 3x on the token. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. And they've officially bought their first Node Monk. All right, so one down and hundreds to go. With the money they raised, hundreds to go. We should go peek at floor prices, by the way, but hundreds. That said, I see a lot of talk on X about, guys, maybe they're not going to go sweep the floor. They might not go spend all that money and sweep the floor. They might actually do sweeps and spread them out, right? More regular sweeps, but, you know, not all at once. Because if they did it all at once, guys, I thought this pushes the collection up to like 0.1 Bitcoin, but I actually think with what's listed now, I actually think it pushes Node Monks to like a quarter Bitcoin. That's not a crazy number. We've been at 0.9. Node Monks had a 0.9 Bitcoin floor. You remember this, 2023? We've been there before. No, is that last year? God, why can't I keep this stuff straight? It's crazy. I think it was last year. 0.9 Bitcoin floor. So if this pushes them back to a quarter, would not be crazy. I believe we're going to see those prices again. I really believe it. But we might not see it all at once. We might not see it this week. It might be these buys are spread out. Hang on, I'm going to save that. Let's see. Oh, I already did. Okay. Quick peek at the floors, and then we're going to get to the other strategy tokens. Big one launching today. This is really important today that we're dialed in and we're watching. Where are node monks? 0.067 floor. Node monks are an $8,000 floor now. And I believe puppets are coming up next. And Pizza Ninjas launched their own strategy coin. Again, it's not a TokenWorks coin, but it's their own $4,000 floor. I see an opportunity right now in Wizards. I know they're $20,000. I know, but I see an opportunity there. I see it in OMB. All the ones I talk about, even Shrooms, I could imagine could have one. Would love to see a Runestone strategy. I want to see it for all of them, to be honest. You know what it is? Perfect way to put what's going on with these strategy coins. It's liquid NFTs. It's very much like blur farming, but I think more organic. This is an awesome way to make NFTs way more liquid. It's perfect. It's damn near perfect. Based Angels have a strategy coin. For them, it's not really moving the needle, although I don't think they've started sweeping yet. So we'll keep our eyes on those. It's so early. We got to learn so much about these still, but we're watching Based Angels. We're watching Node Monks to see. I don't think there's going to be a lot of demand for that coin, so I'm very curious with that. And then I think all those Quantum Cats. Hope we see a strategy coin. So I'm watching Node Monks closely. I'm watching Based Angels closely. I'm watching Bodago strategy. Launched on Solana a few days back. Right? There's a Mad Lads one that launched. We got to watch these things. We got to see how they move. We got to see what separates the great ones from the ones that just aren't performing. Is it the price of the NFTs? Is it the supply of the NFT side? Is it the brand people don't care about, so they don't want to buy the strategy coin? Right? There's so many factors here, and we just don't know yet. But the process, the flywheel makes sense. It does. All right, so let's refresh this. Let's look at the strategy coins that are out now. 5 more launching this week, all big ones. Everything down, by the way. Punk Strategy back at 230 mil. I can't believe it touched 70. Crazy. Pudgy Strategy down. I'm down terribly on my buy yesterday, and I don't mind. Guys, yesterday when I bought, top blasted. Knew I was top. I didn't care. I don't care still. I don't care. I'm okay getting in there because I've seen how these move, and I just wanted it in. Wanted some skin in the game. But down across the board here, Ape Strategy, guys, this morning, sitting at 20 mil. Yeah, we also had a dump here. You're going to see that a lot. A lot of guys got in these earlier, taking profits. Let them. They should. And when they sell, actually worth peeking here. I wish we could see where it was before that big dump this morning. When they sell, the project makes fees still, 10% still. Gravity GM, man. Were the strategy token holders spooked by? Possibly, dude. Yeah, Choina possibly. Or it could have been the same seller. Could have been the same guy just taking profits across the board. Like we saw it yesterday. Alizar, yeah, those look neat. Yep. I would love a pair of those. Yeah, I don't know if it was spooked because this looks like it was all done, especially if we go to like the minute. It might have been just one person. It could have been. Because, yeah, I think across all of them, we're probably going to see the similar thing. Yeah. It could have been one person just kind of taking profits everywhere. All of them look like that. And it's a buying opportunity. Here's where it gets a little tricky, right? Do you have a ton of buyers for these? Because we have 5 great tokens coming out starting today. And at one point, are we getting diminishing returns because it's just so many, not new people coming in, but recycled money. Maybe bots, maybe sales were triggered. There's so many reasons that could happen. Absolutely. Right, Chona? Yeah. Either way, I see a ton of upside on these still, especially in Punk Strategy. I wish I caught that earlier. Okay, now this is a few days old. We talked about it this weekend, but we didn't talk about it on this show, so I want to make sure I mention it. A lot of the movement we saw this weekend in Punk Strategy hitting that all-time high is from the founder here tweeting out what's their goal, what's their motive, what are they going to be doing, and it's pretty damn spicy. Okay, so announced that starting today, they've got the next 5 tokens coming, one a day. These are the tokens that were supposed to launch a week ago, so they're finally coming, right? Check Strategy and Milady and Good Vibes and Goblin Town and Max Payne, all coming this week. Now, after that happens, there's 5 more strategies coming. And I think we know what they are, at least a few of them. And I'll show you the 3 that I'm pretty sure are coming. Then after that, they're moving to an auction-based approach for all the new strategies on ETH, meaning anyone can launch. They kick off an auction. They raise funds to launch their strategy coin. 80% of the ETH raised goes to Punk Strategy. Crazy. That's why Punk Strategy absolutely sent this weekend. That's why. It's because of that. So I've been telling people, look at Punk Strategy not just as like the CryptoPunk token, like as the Punk Strategy token. You got to look at that as the TokenWorks platform token. And you could start valuing a thing like that in the billions. So when I see us at 230 mil right now, I'm like, dude, I see tons of upside there. I can see that 4x still. I could see more than that. So we're watching all this really closely. We spent some time yesterday going through we did a couple simulations, right? Because I'm going in the good vibes one. I'm going in the vibe strategy. I'm going in the pain strategy. There's a lot of upside there. But we're going to use today as something that helps us calibrate that strategy. Goblin Town strategy comes today. I think it's this morning. So we're watching, man. I'm watching to see how many people and what kind of money is coming in right at the start with a 95% tax. Decreases 1% every minute. How many people are going all in right away? What kind of market cap are these launching at? Or how quickly are they getting to, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 mil? It's going to affect how hard we go to vibe strategy and pain strategy. So this one today is a big measuring stick for the rest. Now Goblin Town's got something interesting, something very unique, and we don't know what it is yet, but they have something coming. Let me find it in the tweet. Dude, maybe it's not. Is it in here? Hang on, let me see. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Okay, so the strategy token's coming as is, just like the others, right? But they have their own unique first for their strategy. There is something new happening in the Goblin Town strategy coin. Now, I've seen, this wouldn't apply to them, but I've seen people suggesting that other strategies that launch, let's say like the Bored Ape strategy, which is already live, they should launch a Kennel Club strategy. They should launch a Mutant strategy. And 1% of those fees should kick back to the Ape strategy token. So you have the sub collections that feed up to the top level one. I like that. That actually could work and make sense at some point. I don't know if you have buyers for all these, but it's interesting. But Goblin Town's got something unique. No clue what it is, but let's see if it's spicy, man. Let's see if it's something actually, different that actually does move the needle for them. Because I look at this one as maybe not the hottest one. That said, I've been looking over at Magic Eden at prices. I think the price here is wrong. Let me double check here. Yeah, Magic Eden has the price at 0.17. I think that's wrong. We've seen this, right? Magic Eden prices get stuck. Actually, did it just update there? I'm going to double check. Yeah, these are actually at 0.3 something. So when I've been talking about these guys, I've been saying they 2x, right, with the announcement of a strategy token. They did way more than that. Yeah, okay, look. That price is wrong. They are actually a 0.32, 0.33 floor. So these 5x'd. So yeah, I'm curious the mechanics of that token. Really curious. And look, Max Payne got to 1.2 ETH. Good Vibes got over 0.7. It's really moving the needle, and a lot of people are putting GVC at 1.5 ETH floor when this launches. Keep an eye on Chimpers. I'm suggesting people keep an eye on V1 Punks. They're also launching a strategy outside of TokenWorks, but they're launching a strategy too. I think a lot of these are going to absolutely send. So good for NFTs, man. But we'll see. So launching today with some new mechanic. Man, it should be fun. Should be freaking fun. All right, so Goblin Town today. Tomorrow is check strategy. We'll also do well. It's also deflationary. Also from big name artists, right? Should do well. Pain strategy. Wednesday. We're calibrating today, tomorrow. We're getting ready for Wednesday. That's the one I'm looking to play. And then Thursday, vibe strategy. Those are the two I want to play hard. Now, the Milady strategy, probably going to be really hot too. So, I mean, it's probably not dumb to be buying that one as well. Good vibes is the one most people are picking that as going to be, maybe the second most valuable strategy coin. I could see it, right? That's the one I want to buy. I could see it. There's no Kong strategy yet. I know they talked to the team. They talked to TokenWorks. Everybody's talking to them. So, yeah, I would expect a Kong strategy token at some point. But, yeah, Vibe strategy, I think, is the one. I do. So, I want to be ready for that one. So, these are this week. We don't know the 5 next week, but I think, again, it's pretty clear what's coming. We've got a Chimper strategy coming. I think that's pretty obvious. So, Chimper strategy coming. Like, I would bet on that. That's coming, and it'll do really well. Especially because I don't think they have a token. These guys are crushing it in mindshare outside of crypto Twitter. I think we're going to have a Dead Fellas strategy coin. Even if it's not next week, I think Betty wants to launch one, so maybe they do the auction. But yeah, Dead Fellas strategy and a World of Women strategy. Everyone's going to launch one. Everybody. There you go. Thursday. Yeah. Vibe strategy is going to do very well. It's the NFT of this cycle. I'm not going to count the hyper NFTs. I'm not going to count the mega ETH ones like the bunnies, whatever they're called. There's some great NFTs this cycle, but I think the ones that outlive that live beyond any kind of cycle, the ones we'll remember from this cycle, it's going to be an ETH one. It's the ETH Cabal thing, right? It's GVC is going to be the one. So Vibe strategy is going to do very well. And of course, Beanie's got his comments out there. I love Beanie. I fucking love Beanie, but Beanie doesn't really do his research before putting out his thoughts, which is fine. He's just going for mindshare. And by the way, he's a fan of these too. But he's saying the strategy model, it's broken because most people, he's saying what I said, that people are going to bypass the 10% fee on those trades by going to other pairs that are set up. And they are. Well, actually, they're not. I guess you can't on the newer strategy coins, right? They've got them locked in where you can only trade them here, on the TokenWorks pool or pair. Punk strategy you can trade elsewhere. All it does is make arbitrage opportunities, though. We'll get the prices out of whack and people just trade between them. So just more opportunities. It's cool. But yeah, he doesn't realize, he didn't know that you can't make other pairs, I guess. But yeah, Beanie's got a habit of doing that for whatever reason. It's just the mindshare thing. And then, dude, how about this? We also have a Pengu strategy that's launching on Abstract. This is going to get funny, man. It's just we're going to keep getting deeper in the derivative rabbit hole, right? So we got all these NFT strategy coins, and all of a sudden we've got Pengu strategy focused on the meme coin. So same setup, 10% fee, 8% goes to buyback, and I assume burn Pengu. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work. I think Abstract is, I think that's too small an ecosystem. Maybe it works. Maybe it works. I don't know. Maybe it works, guys. Hoods, let me peek here. What do you got for me? All right. What strategy coins you getting, guys? Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Hang on, Hoods. I don't know what you sent me. I'm not clicking links, brother. No, whatever. I trust Hoods. Hang on. Let me see what I'm doing here. Allow Google AI Studio access to Drive. I don't know. I'm not going to click through that right now. Yeah, it wants me to give access to Drive. Yeah, I got to pass on that, sir. I'm sure it's kosher. I just don't click things on my browser. You know what I mean? I don't click things on this computer. Here, I'll send you another way to send me whatever. It's your synthesizer. All right, hang on. I'll DM you back afterwards. I'll find another way for you to send it. Yeah, Chuan is doing the Vibe strategy. Yeah, I'm there. I'll be there. I hope it's at a good time where we can actually stream during it, right? That'd be perfect if we can go live right when the tokens are launching. Maybe even today when, let's see. Let's see if they put out a date or a time. Okay, yeah, we don't have a time yet for Goblin strategy yet. So I'm going to keep my eyes. I don't think I'll be streaming when it goes live. Maybe I will. Today's newsletter day, so I'm going to be writing. But if I can, I'll go live and we'll just dig into it. If it's looking spicy, throw some money at it. But I do want to do that when Vibe strategy happens. That's it, Choina. That's the thing we got to figure out. So, it's not a bad plan to sit and watch today so we can figure things out. I would love to watch it live. Oh, you know what? Cool thing. I didn't even think of this. Let me give something to try. I want to try Copilot. I want to try Copilot with the strategy coins. I hadn't done that yet. So where I was saying there's certain things we're watching for and we're trying to figure out what moves the needle more for the tokens, right? Does the smaller supply matter more? On the NFT side, does the price matter? That's one of the things we're watching in Max Payne. A lot of people do think smaller NFT supplies are going to move the needle more. I think it makes sense, right? It kind of makes sense, but I don't know. We're going to see. There we go. Now this is where we can actually see it dip down and touch 70. This is a Punk strategy, by the way. Let's see. All right, hang on. I might need to ask the team to peek at this one, see why we don't have that Copilot data. And that might just be my browser. Somebody else has Copilot. I'm curious if it looks like that for you. So let me peek too at another one. Let me look at Pudgy strategy. But I would love to see that data, see who the good traders are there. In fact, we could look at that guy who dumped. We could see right away when he got in. Yeah, okay. Well, for me, here, let's do Gecko. Let's try Gecko Terminal. Yeah, I like the longer play cats. That's how I'm looking at it. That's why yesterday was really okay getting in Pudgy strategy. Okay, Gecko Terminal. And hang on, let me make sure I'm in Copilot. Yeah, we look okay there. Yeah, I want to see this working. I need to chat with the team. Here, one last time. I'm going to try that on Gecko Terminal. Would love to dive into these tokens. Yeah, okay, nothing there. All right, well, I'm going to update my Copilot and check back on these. It's worth a deep dive on the tokens. Get an idea of who's trading and how they're trading. Love all those little extra insights there. I love it, dude. I love hearing everybody's kind of long with these things. Yeah. Yeah, no, it makes sense. It does. I'm with you, boys. I'm with you. All right, last thing to be watching for today. Nothing to do with crypto, but look, OpenAI has got some kind of announcement today. Sounds like some kind of agent builder companion tool, whatever. Agent builder. Could be interesting. Right? We got these other agentic payment systems out there. We've got ACP, not the virtuals ACP. We've got other ways for agents to make payments so they don't have to be in the virtuals ACP. Agent season's still here. It's game on. Like I always say, stay plugged in. Keep watching this stuff, man. It matters a lot. And all it means is more and more opportunities for us. And they're coming pretty fast and furious now. So let's stay on it, boys. Benny, good morning. You made it right in time for the end. Nice job, man. But there we go. There's your update. We'll be live tomorrow, same time, same place, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Smash the like on your way out. Make sure you go over to CryptoSlam on YouTube and subscribe. And make sure you subscribe or follow SlamAI_XYZ over on X and get ready for the Slam token and the product announcements and partners to be announced and all kinds of cool shit. It's going to get fun and it's coming real quick. Man, can't wait. All right, guys, you have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.